Okay, brilliant. So our final talk of the evening is by Dr. Ksenia Klimova from Aston University. She is a postdoc, and she will tell us all about the pet microbiome, which I'm really excited about. So welcome her to the floor.
Hi, my name is Ksenia. I am a molecular microbiologist. I study bacteria for almost 10 years because I really like them, and hopefully by the end of my talk you will like them too. And actually, bacteria, they do lots of good things for many animals, us included, but usually when the word bacteria comes up in a conversation, the topic is about very nasty diseases that can kill millions of people, or about antibiotic resistance that can add even more bodies to those millions. And I do agree, there are many bad bacteria that can harm us, but there are many more good ones. They do great stuff. They usually live on our skin, inside the guts, and altogether they comprise our microbiome. And a microbiome is a tiny ecosystem of microorganisms living in and on our bodies, helping us with everything from digestion to immunity. And my talk, I want to start with telling you how microbes are cool and the reason to like them. So the reason number one, bacteria are very ancient beings. So if we will collapse the entire planet's history into one calendar year, today is going to be the 31st of December, much less than a second before the midnight. Yeah, we're here. Humans existed for only 30 minutes. The asteroid that killed dinosaurs hit the Earth 5 days ago on the 26th of December. Flowers and mammals evolved in the beginning of December. In November, plants invaded the land, and most animal species evolved in the seas. In October, around October, first multicellular organisms comes to life, and from March to October, almost every living being on the planet was a microbe. So for billions of years, they were shaping the Earth so we can evolve and come to the Pint of Science tonight. So they were there before us and will be here long after we'll be gone. But in our lives, there will never be a moment when we wouldn't have them around us or inside us. Which brings me to point number two. We have no choice. We coexist with bacteria in a very tight symbiosis. So average human body consists of about 30 trillion cells, and we also have about 38 trillion of bacteria, so the ratio is about 1:1, but in total number, you are more bacteria than a human. And as I'm not a mathematician, the number 38 trillions is a very abstract concept to me, so to bring this number closer to our daily lives, I found the approximate amount of stars in our Milky Way galaxy, which is approximately 100 billions. Yeah, and if we assume that each bacterium is a star, we each would carry about 380 Milky Ways inside of us, and your pet are gonna have approximately 10 bacteria per each of their animal cell. And now I want to introduce you to someone who's very dear to me, and it's my cat, Flagella. Yeah, she's very cute, Bengal cat. She actually was the one who inspired me for the talk. So she weighs approximately 4 kilograms, so she's gonna have approximately 320 Milky Way galaxies inside of her, which is approximately the same amount of galaxies I have, even though I'm more than 10 times bigger than her. And a German Shepherd usually weighs approximately 30 kilograms. And with this mass, he's gonna have 2,500 Milky Ways inside of him, which is very impressive. but not surprising if we take into account all of the German Shepherd activities. Well, the last reason, but not the least, is that bacteria are everywhere. We are breathing them in and out. They live inside our bodies and on our bodies, and in our guts we have 4 main groups of bacteria, and the names are Bacteroidota, Firmicutes, Proteobacteria, and Actinobacteria. Each of this group do different jobs for us, but altogether they comprise our microbiome. And together, those bacteria, they regulate our health, they stimulate the immune system and development of our gut structure, they protect us from other pathogenic bacteria, they digest our food, and in return, they give us some cool stuff like short-chain fatty acids that have anti-inflammatory, anti-obesity, anti-cancer, and other cool functions in our body. They also produce all kinds of vitamins B, which are essential for your brain health. Vitamin K helps your blood to clot properly, and also serotonin is mostly produced in your guts and influenced by your bacteria, and by most I mean 95%. So now I hope that you share the same enthusiasm in having bacteria, but what about sharing bacteria? As I told you, your pets will have much more bacteria than you do, and every time you touch your pet, like hug or kiss them, you will have their bacteria on board. But how does it affect us? So to answer this question, we should turn our curious eyes on the bacteria in the newborns. So in our mother's womb, we are very much sterile until the moment we are born. Then we very quickly adopt our mother's microbiome, and then our microbiome develops until we are 3 years old. And in this 3 years gap, a very important thing must happen. So your immunity is supposed to get acquainted with all kinds of bacteria, the more the merrier. And as I already told you before, German Shepherds are quite superstars in having all kinds of bacteria in very big quantities. So the study shows that if a baby is born in a household with a dog, the baby is going to have more diversity of bacteria compared to the kids that do not have a dog in the house. And diversity of your microbiome is very important, because the more diverse your microbiome is, the better you can digest food, different kinds of it, you better can resist pathogens, regulate your immunity, and recover from stress much faster. And also you will have much lower risk of inflammation and allergies further in life. Another study shows that independently from which kind of fluffy pet you have, abundance of 2 bacteria are going to be higher, Ruminococcus and Ascillosphaera. So those 2 actually very important for the gut development in babies. They also prevent your baby's gut from inflammation and make sure that the baby will not become obese. If now we will move a little bit further in life and turn our curious eye on itself, we'll find a study which shows us that dogs and their owners share similar microbial communities on their ocular surface. And the smaller the dog, the more similarities between dogs and owners' eye microbiome you'll find. And despite the size of the dog, if it's small or big, the dog's going to have more microbe diversity than you do. And the more pets cohabiting with you, the more similar bacteria you will all have. Overall, owners allowing their dog on a bed will have more similar microbiome with the dog compared to the people who do not allow their dog on a bed. Urban dogs, which have much less contacts with other animals and less interactions with the environment, they'll have lower abundance of microbes, and their skin microbiota will be dominated by human skin bacteria. Whereas skin microbiota of rural dogs tends to be much richer in environmental microbes. In elderly people, dogs' ownership increased abundance of two bacteria. One of them is Bifidobacteriaceae, which digest fiber and produce butyrate, which then feeds your colon epithelial cell. And these bacteria also feed your own microbiome. And Ruminococcaceae, so this bacteria takes part in some vitamin production and protect your gut from inflammation. And there's also been studies showing that members of those two bacterial families can relieve depression symptoms. But what about cats? What Flagella brings to my family table? Well, actually, to find out what she brings, I took an oral microbiome swab from her. She wasn't very cooperative, but I did anyway. I also took a sample from my oral microbiome and placed it on a plate that's called Petri dish. And one of them belongs to me, one of them belongs to Flagella. So can you guess, with all the information that you have, which plate belonged to her? Great, why do you think it's one? Absolutely right, yeah, you can see that, like, yeah, Flagella is always number one, first of all. And you can see that on her plate, she has much more bacteria, and her microbes are much more colorful and have more shapes compared to mine. So that means that she has all kinds of bacteria that I do not have. But how does it affect us? So if we start with the babies again, well, actually, cat's microbiome affects babies quite a lot. So babies who live in a household with cats, they not only will have less allergies further in life and less inflammation, but also in the infants, there will be increased population of Bifidobacteria longum. And this bacteria aids in immune system maturation in infants. It helps in milk digestion, so it makes sure that the baby will get all the nutrients it's supposed to get from the milk. And it also acts as a pioneer colonizer in the breastfed infants to reduce inflammation and prevent the growth of harmful bacteria. But the babies who will benefit most from your cat is the babies delivered by cesarean section. So research shows that babies delivered by cesarean section and who do not have a cat in the house, they have twofold higher risk of obesity by the age of 2 compared to the kids who have a cat at home or to babies who was born vaginally. Research in adults, however, shows that Flagella and other cats, they bring all the boys from Proteobacteria group, families like Alichinatiaceae, Pseudomyidaceae, and Enterobacteriaceae. Those families, bacteria from those families, are much higher in the cat owners, and unfortunately, their presence is usually linked to dysbiosis. However, it's not who they are, okay, it's what they do, and the research shows that owners of cats will have much greater microbial diversity and enhanced pathways in the body which related to a good health, such as energy metabolism pathway is increased, meaning that your microbes can have more energy from the food. Sugar acid breakdown is increased. So in this case, bacteria digest all different kind of carbon sources like fiber, make butyrate and make your gut stronger. Vitamin B12 synthesis pathway enhanced, fat breakdown increased. So in this case, your bacteria breaking down the fat that could have been stored in your body, but they use it for food, for them. And there is also be reduced allergy susceptibility in the cat owners. So cats are great, okay? However, another study shows transmission of Tenderella from the cat's mouse to humans. And Tenderella is actually a key member of rat complex pathogens. This is the bacteria that links to chronic periodontitis and the tooth loss. However, dogs, mouse can be noted too, okay? Because an oral sample of a dog revealed the presence of Pastorella, a bacteria which causes cellulitis and subcutaneous abscess in humans. You can Google how this disease looks like. It's just very disturbing pictures, and I decided not to put it on the slide. Yeah, but overall, if you want to kiss or cuddle your pet, please do it by all means. It will cause a great shift in your microbial community. Just don't forget to brush your teeth and wash your hands from time to time. And just to finalize my talk, I want to draw the line between the people who have a pet and don't have a pet. So if you are living with a pet, you will have significantly increased species richness in bacteria that protect your gut lining, enrich your microbiome, help control inflammation, protect against pathogens, and maintain the gut barrier. If you will have no pets, you will have less diverse microbiome, higher tendency for allergies, but also higher level of lactobacillus and bacteroides, two bacteria that in combination promote your gut homeostasis and improve health by reducing inflammation. So by choosing a pet, you're kind of choosing how to shape your microbiome, because you and your pet is actually a very dynamic ecosystem that are tied very closely to each other. So another time you're gonna kiss or cuddle or like lick your pet, whatever you do, just remember that you're becoming more and more alike with them, especially at the microbial level. So yeah, thank you very much for your attention. Let me know if you have any questions.